All right. Thank you all for coming here today. I am here to share an urgent warning to the public regarding a predatory scam that is targeting citizens of New Orleans. It has come to my attention that con artists have been making fraudulent calls to individuals in the New Orleans community, falsely claiming that they have failed to respond to a jury summons. These scammers then offer to resolve that supposed failure to appear by charging their credit card over the phone and threatening arrest if that payment is not made promptly. I was personally alerted to this scam very recently when an acquaintance of mine reached out to me in distress after receiving one of these deceitful phone calls. Concerned by the gravity of the situation, I took it upon myself to call the number that she had gotten and to investigate further. Under an assumed name, I explained and asked if I had missed jury service, and was taken aback when the fraudster on the end not only confirmed that I had missed jury service, but said that if I didn't pay $1,500 via credit card before I got off that phone call, I would be arrested. This scam preys on the fears and vulnerabilities of our citizens. It is clearly trying to exploit the trust in our criminal justice system for financial gain. It is a reprehensible act, and we are dealing with it. Following my confirmation of this issue, I alerted our partners at the NOPD, at the state police, at the FBI, and at the U.S. Attorney's Office, as well as our law enforcement partners in surrounding parishes, to be vigilant and on the lookout for any other potential leads in other situations. Credible leads to the identity and the whereabouts of the individuals involved in this scheme are right now being investigated. The full extent of this issue is simply not known at this point. It's impossible to know if they are solely targeting people in Orleans Parish, whether this is a citywide, statewide, or a multi-jurisdictional piece. I have reached out and talked to some DAs in some other states who have had similar things occur. I don't know if these fraudsters are connected. The investigation will bear that out. But we wanted to immediately address the public as soon as possible out of an abundance of caution, and to implore each and every one to remain aware and be very skeptical of any calls from any unknown sources, especially those seeking phone payments outside of an official process to settle a legal matter. Remember, legitimate government agencies will never demand immediate payment over the phone and threaten arrest if payments are not made. If you receive a call, do not engage with these scammers. Instead, report this incident to your local law enforcement authorities. Call the DA's office. Together, we can put an end to this deceitful scheme and protect other members in the community from further harm. I imagine after this press conference, we'll probably get some calls from some other folks who have been potential victims or been victims of this incident. After learning of this incident, I also learned of other situations in which they may be targeting persons on parole or probation, saying that they need to make a payment because something is outstanding. So the full extent of this is not known yet, but the public needs to be made aware as law enforcement agencies continue to investigate this matter and root it out. Keith?
We'll open up for on-topic questions.
Are you aware of anyone who has paid the money and fallen victim to it, and best advice to anybody that might be getting the call today?
If someone gets that call today, call us immediately, and if you're not in our jurisdiction, call your law enforcement agencies so that we can begin to put together the patterns that exist. There are certain tells. I don't want to go into those tells on this because we're trying to find these individuals, and we've got some solid leads. But I want to make sure no one becomes a victim. I don't know anyone who has told me they've paid as of yet. I hope that has not happened, but they certainly are preying on citizens who want to trust the system and want to do right by the system.
Paul, anything?
Yeah, Paul?
Yes, Mr. DA, is it your belief that they're trying to extract that $1,500, or are they actually trying to get the credit card numbers so that they can further use that credit card for?
Full extent is not known. I imagine if they are unscrupulous enough to demand $1,500 from a private citizen because they didn't, because they allegedly didn't report to jury service, I would not put it past them to use that credit card information to extract more money from them. And I'm certain this scam goes far beyond what we know now. Good question, Paul.
Do you have anything, Zach?
Yeah, I mean, you said you have credible leads. Is that point to someone potentially here in Orleans Parish, or are we looking at something maybe beyond the city or even state?
I think we should be prepared for this to be beyond the jurisdiction of Orleans Parish with the advent of AI. I've had some conversations with our OSINT task force about this. There have been other scams in other places using artificial intelligence to change voices, to make voices sound like the voices of a parent's children who are away at school in other jurisdictions. So because of the technology that's present today, it is very feasible that the individuals that are engaging in this scam are not in the state of Louisiana and not in New Orleans, but we just don't have enough information right now to be able to say that. But I think we need to be very vigilant and be prepared for it to be local and abroad as well.
Pardon my ignorance, but what's the general rule of thumb for Mexico or England?
So, and I'm glad you asked that. RS 13-3049, potential penalties for failing to appear for jury service without an excused absence for the court. The district judge may enforce the attendance of any juror by imposing a fine of not more than $50 or imprisonment in parish jail for not more than 3 days or both. But let me be very clear. There's judicial due process that has to happen before any of that can occur, and it will never happen over the phone. Good question. Thank you.
Any more questions from the floor?
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. I really do.